This week on Lucha Review, we take a pause from the 30 years of summer to celebrate the life and career of a bona fide American legend, Mr. Wilford Brimley, who left this world 1 week ago at the age of 85. Brimley starred in dozens of movies, television shows, and commercials, but no matter what his role was, he always tried to be himself and always was himself. If you're my age, you might remember him best as the Quaker Oats guy. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, before we left for school each morning, Brimley appeared on at least one commercial, reminding us that eating our Quaker Oats was, and I quote, the right thing to do. That was his famous tagline, and any time someone said it, they'd be sure to deepen their voice and give you a stern nod, just as he did in the commercials. At one point, the line was so well known that I drew a picture of Brimley at the breakfast table on a friend's student government campaign ad advising students that voting for Josh was the right thing to do. Josh didn't win. It wasn't even close. If you're a science fiction fan, then you probably know that Brimley is also part of the Star Wars universe. Return of the Jedi might have been the final installment of the Star Wars saga at that time, but the world wanted more. And Lucasfilms kept the momentum going with Ewoks: Battle for Endor. Maybe Star Wars wasn't your thing. Maybe you were more of a fan of The Thing, or Cocoon, or Our House, or The Natural. But if you're like me, you remember him most as the spokesman for Liberty Medical, when he educated the whole world on diabetes. I swear, I am not laughing at diabetics, but hearing him say diabetes almost makes me wish that I was diabetic myself. I remember the first commercial he did for him when he was in a cowboy hat on a movie set, balling his fists, and spoke about diabetes in a way that made me feel guilty that he had it. I felt personally responsible for Wilford Brimley being a diabetic. And I wasn't the only one who felt the power of diabetes either. Memes and silly videos started circulating around the internet in the mid-2000s, and when I lived on unemployment benefits in 2008 and had way too much free time on my hands, I couldn't resist the urge to join in. This is me challenging Noah of Endor to a lightsaber duel amidst a Star Wars battle, and I had so much fun making this graphic that I went ahead and put the man in all 3 of the movie posters for episodes 4, 5, and 6. P.S. I'm convinced that the bulk of folks who watched Fox News between the hours of 8 to 11 a.m. were diabetic too, because when I worked in a small collections house in Long Island, we had Fox News on for background noise, and I heard Brimley's voice no less than 3 times per hour. At one point, I had the voice and the lines down so well that I started using them on collections phone calls, all of which were recorded, and coworkers had to get up and leave the fucking room because debtors couldn't take them seriously if they were laughing their asses off. I guarantee you that anyone who knows me personally or professionally was thinking about me when the world got the news last week about Wilford Brimley being gone from this world. And while it totally sounds like I'm shitting all over the guy's legacy, I'm fighting hard to hold back the tears here, because whether he was the authoritative but caring grandfather, a hero protecting the universe, or a man who simply wanted you to live a better life if you had diabetes, he was always Wilford Brimley. He was always special, and there will never be another quite like him. Thank you, Wilford Brimley. Be one with the Force, my friend.